gave you. They're just trying to suck up to you. They're trying to get you money like everybody else is. It's not even a fair game. Rate your own performance truly. Let me give you a number system. 1, you are not performing. HR has had conversations with you in addition to your manager. When you went to buy the fleece vest with the Inland Empire logo on it, you were encouraged to hold up a little bit. The gift shop girl was like, "Oh, you sure you want to buy? Do you want to put it on layaway?" I heard. You're not wrong for this. A 3 is someone who consistently delivers what the organization requires. Super trick question. Consistency. Regardless of your circumstances, regardless of whether other teams do their fair share, regardless. Do you deliver consistently? And do you deliver what the organization requires, or do you deliver what you cherry pick, or what you think should be required, or what you like to do, and that changes every year. Strat plan, ops plan, your plan. If we're going left, your plan's gonna look a little to the left. If you're going to the right, it's gonna look a little to the right. If we're cost cutting, that's your new plan. If we're growing, that's your new plan. If we're doing both at the same time, that's your plan. 5, you blew the curve. You busted it. You delivered beyond expectations in the same circumstances as everybody else. Now, if you're a 5, it's gotta be temporary. A leader's job is to make a 5's performance temporary. We promote you because you're ready for more, or we bonus you and study you because your breakthrough needs to become the new standard for all 3s just to be 3s for next year. There should be no one out there who's just been a 4 or 5 for years. What that means is you're not setting goals high enough. It should change over time. A novice nurse, to get a 3, I want him or her to not kill anyone. That means ask questions before you do something you're unsure of. If you're a 3-year nurse, that's not enough to get a 3. I need you having the expertise. If you're a 5-year nurse, I need you teaching others just to get a 3. Your expectations change as we grow and develop you. They change with the organization. Now, 1 year, I got a 5. I got a US patent for a business process. HR made $2 million profit. I sold it to lots of other systems. I got an acrylic trophy, a spot bonus. My entire team got a 5. We even got a reception. The next year I went into my boss, review time. She goes, "Sai, I'm so excited. You've had such a great year. I rated you a 3 this year." What? Have you forgotten who I am? She goes, "Last year's patent award winner?" I go, "Yeah, that girl." She goes, "Yeah, and so I thought we settled up last year. I gave you a 5 and a bonus, and now this year I looked at your work and you consistently delivered and it's a 3, and that's awesome." I'm like, "I am no 3. I demand to be a 5. She goes, "Oh my gosh, I would love for you to be a 5. Do you want to do another patent or something? How will you break the curve this year?" I'm like, "I'm not gonna work here every day. I work 7 days a week, 20 hours a day. I'm not doing that again." She goes, "I don't think you should, then be a 3. I'm like, "I want to be a 3. She's like, "Be a 5. So I be whatever you want to be." I'm not changing the curve. I was so mad. I pulled out everything. I was a 4-point student in college. She goes, "Oh my gosh, good job in college." She goes, "You're a 4-point?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "But they settled up with you, right? They gave you ropes and they gave you a hood and you're good." I go, "I do more than my fair share." She goes, "Thank you." I go, "Seriously, I do more than my fair share." She goes, "Seriously, thank you. We expect that from all of our 3s. It was amazing. Her bell-shaped curve was actually a bell-shaped curve. HR never had to go to her and talk about her inflated ratings. And I learned I can be whatever I want to be. But no one's going to hand me a grade. Now, if I had to rate myself today, I'm a 3 on a 5-point scale. A lot of you are like, "This has been the best day ever." Yeah, but my competition isn't people you've seen before. My competition is worldwide. Simon Sinek, Brene Brown, Oprah, for God's sake, is my competition. People are like, "Who wants a keynote?" Oprah, Oprah. I never win that. She's a 5, I'm a 3. Future potential, 1 to 5. 1, allergic to training. You have training tomorrow. Do I have to? Is it mandatory? Well, what happens if I don't know? A 3, somebody trying to keep up with the times. Technically savvy, growth mindset, interested, curious learner, willing to look at their place in the world, their own biases, working on their own evolution, working to understand the conversations happening that have escalated and amplified, especially in the last years in this country, that should have been allowed long ago. Like, are people improving who they are as human beings? A 5, someone inventing the future. I sat next to a guy on a plane who is a scientist in singularity, and he knows how to upload all of your consciousness into a computer and have you live forever. Him. I'm like, what? I was just hoping to organize my pictures on my Google Drive. Can you tell me how to do that? These are people inventing the future. Now, on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm a 3, and I have to cheat by using my 4 children often to get the TV working again. So I'm like close to becoming a 2. 3 plus 3 is 6. Everybody follow my math? That's where most people stop. It's ego math. They go on a 5-point scale and a 6. It's not even how we measure. People want to focus on what they give the organization. But there's more math to be done. Before we know your value, we know what you give, let's look at what you cost. In addition to your salary and benefits. Emotional expensiveness. Now, this formula is not to rate people's performance. It is to it's to use for your own self-reflection. So some of you very pneumatic are going to be like, but you could never get, you can't. A 1 to 3 or a 1 to 5 scale, it's inverted because we're subtracting it. 1, drama diffusers. They come into a room, everybody's like, they come correct. They don't have any drama. They diffuse drama. 1s, I mentioned them previously, Muhammad, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Jesus, like all the people who are dead, and we're like, let's just remember them and act that way, right? There are our role models. They're the people that mastered this stuff. A 3, typical employee who thinks they have a God-given right to have a fit every month or so. Awesome employee, but you have them. They work really hard, and then they go, do you have a minute? And I'm gonna melt down. Close the door. I do everything around here, and I'm surrounded by idiots, and no one cares, and this world will go to heck in a handbasket without me, and I'm just not paid enough. And anybody have like beautiful people who have these little meltdowns? And here's what we do as leaders. We're so scared of losing them. We're like, oh my gosh, just a minute. I'll call the HR SWAT team. Bring money. Bring money. Bring all the money you have. I can now lose this person. HR comes running in. They're like, did you bring money? We didn't, but we brought a jeans day. Funny thing about high accountants is they go, okay. That's better, right? Now, I make fun of that, but people up until now didn't realize even the cost of that meltdown. It's not about well-being, it's about drama that is unnecessary. You'll be happier without it. 5s, those are people unfit for human consumption. They did something amazing once, and we are either scared of them or like, people are like, well, I mean, nobody wants to work with them, and we think they bite, actually, and but they're a rock star. And like, let's stop calling them rock stars and start calling them biters. Like, it seems, they become a little bit untouchable. You know why? Because we overvalue technical skills, which we can get most of on the internet for rent by now, and we undervalue people skills. So on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm a 2. I've done a lot of therapy. I've worked really hard with this. I'm not a 1. I'm a 2. That's all you got to be. 6 minus 2 would mean I'm a 4, and I'm not. Because this drama number subtracts 3 times what I've added before. You all know that. People easy to work with, even if they're maybe less skilled, you would choose them over somebody difficult to work with, more skilled. This is the important number now that everything's a team sport. My 2 becomes a 6. 6 minus 6, I'm a 0. You've been sitting here all day with a 0. You're like, Janet, why would you bring in a 0? A 0 is the ideal number. You don't have to be better than that. It's a no ego number. I came, I've given you a great program. You paid me exactly what I asked for. We're even. Wouldn't you love to go home tonight from work every day? Even. I came, I did great things, I worked with great people, And I went home with energy left over for my friends and family, no resentments. I'm not taking any baggage home. I don't have any unfinished business. Like, we're all good. I'm just in the present moment. That's the ideal. Now, 83% of the people that took this in our research came out negative, not because they're broken. It's a new barometer that we haven't talked about enough. So where's your biggest bang when you coach people? If you're gonna coach on something, where's your biggest bang? You want to increase their value. The drama, right? What are you coaching on? Maybe barely performance, a little bit growth. Few people are coaching on the drama. And we need you inviting people to step up and use good mental processes to get out of the drama. And I want you to think about what your number is and how you might be able to improve your value. And it's simple, it's in one of 5 categories. It goes back to the sources of ego. If you increase your personal accountability, you'll decrease your drama, increase your value. If you increase your reality-based thinking, instead of looking through the ego, you look through high self. You see reality for what it really is. You disconnect from the story. If you have buy-in as a verb and you willingly align with the organization, say yes. Now let's talk about how. If you are getting really good at change, and if you're able to drive for results with some grit and resiliency, you will be low drama, high value. So what have I got you thinking about as we have about 20